Well, the last time we spoke to His Beatitude Cardinal Louis Sako, Archbishop of Baghdad and Patriarch of Babylon of the Chaldeans, we were all looking forward to Pope Francis' historic first visit, well, the historic first visit of any pope to Iraq. And what a visit it turned out to be. There were so many highlights. Mass in the Chaldean Cathedral of St. Joseph in the capital, a moving visit to Karakosh that, of course, was so ravaged under Daesh, Mass in Erbil, and a meeting with Grand Ayatollah al-Sistani in Najaf, in which the Grand Ayatollah affirmed his interest in Christian citizens living like all Iraqis in peace and security, whilst, of course, preserving their constitutional rights. Patriarch Sako, lots to talk about, of course. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, James. I think really until now, I think the visit was, historic because this was the first time for a pope to come to Iraq, and also historic because the circumstances in Iraq, the situation, and with his meetings with people, with sponsors and religious leaders, and the messages, he changed the mentality of people. Now they are thinking about diversity and about we are brothers and sisters. This is new, very new for for our population, which is sectarian. The mentality was after the collapse of the old regime became sectarian, confessional. I mean, Shiite, Sunnite, Christians, Arabs, and so on, Kurds. And now we are brothers. We belong to the same house, the house of Abraham, but also the house of Iraq. So, and the phrase of Ayatollah al Sistani, which is like a fatwa, I mean, a, a religious declaration is you are a part of us, we are a part of you. Just that means we are one body, has changed, the behavior of Muslims towards Christians. Now we are very well respected, and we can, we have, they are doing nothing against us. What is happening is against all Iraqis, and this is political, a tension and a conflict between political parties for authority and for money. This is a little bit different from the population, but until now, people are speaking about the visit, and the pictures of the Pope is still are still in the streets. When we are going to our cathedral, we are seeing the Pope and also Ayatollah and with the President of Republic and others. I think the Pope Francis moved and touched everyone. Personally, I feel that he touched more Muslims than Christians because we are accustomed with him, and now a new way to think and a new culture is growing among people. And for us, for us Christians, this is very basic to live together in harmony and peace.
It was amazing for us to watch our screens and see those wonderful displays of enthusiasm. Wonderful to see the Christians, of course, but as you say, the people did seem to be somewhat united. What would you say more long term will be the legacy of this visit, in your opinion?
Now, as a church, we are also together uh, meeting and thinking how to to explore the messages of the Pope and how to incarnate them with other religions. And also the government is thinking about that. For instance, how to promote the dialogue, interreligious dialogue, and also the pilgrimage to Ur. the land of Abraham. And we issued a book about the visit of the Pope in Arabic, and with his speeches, with pictures, and we gave copies to all, just to go through it and see closely what the Pope said. I think the future depends on the churches, how to work together, and also the government, because after his visit, other leaders visited Iraq, and the Prime Minister Al Kazimi said, when the president of Egypt and the king of Jordan and other leaders came to Baghdad for a summit, he said, "This is the fruit of the visit of the Pope Francis." I think this this kind of remembering the visit the Pope is reminding people that the visit is still alive, and the church should be also very aware how to be close to people, and to serve people. And now, we have schools, hospitals, and in Erbil there is, a Catholic university, uh, in Sulaimania, a big hospital for Alzheimer, for Christians and others. Here in Baghdad, we are also preparing a polytechnical, school, high school, not only for Christians, for the other, for all Iraqis, and Caritas is serving all. And this is, a way to incarnate our mission, but also the service of charity.
And also, quite crucially, you've obviously alluded to it there. Um, you said that Pope Francis's presence in Iraq broke the barrier of fear for local Christians. So, obviously, notwithstanding, we'll come on to the elections and the future in a moment. But what did you mean by breaking that barrier of fear?
What we need from the Pope, I think, uh, the following up the visit with other means, with other ways. For instance, 2 weeks ago, he met a young people, a young Muslim married with an Italian, lady. He met them, and he said he was the Muslim young, was originally from Mosul, and he said, yeah, yeah. He sent a message to the population of Mosul, very nice. Yeah, just telling them you are brothers. Uh, you should hope the future is among in your hands. You have to be to work together for the future of the city, and to construct the city together, and to prepare a better future for all, something like that. And the message was very, very, you know, interesting. And I heard people from Mosul, they were very touched by the word of the Pope. He spoke in English.
This is a man that clearly loves your country. And we talked about that, didn't we, in February before the visit, about his love for Iraq and the fact that this was going to be his first visit, during the COVID era and so on. Did that come across to you, his love of the country?
Yes, yeah, I think there is a future, but the future should be prepared by the population. Others can help us, and we have to take our responsibility. I mean, Iraqis to change, the situation, and to get out from this mentality and a new culture or sectarian, and from also always conflicts, and tensions and fighting each other. This is in vain. This this kinds of acts do not prepare the future. I think the only way, as I many times, repeated, is to build a democratic state, a civil regime, not sectarian, for every Iraqi citizen to live in dignity and freedom. And this is the future for all Iraqis. And the young people who were on the streets uh, looking for a homeland and looking for liberty, freedom, and dignity. And this is, I think, the future. And now, about 20 people from them are deputies in the next, parliament. I think they can also uh, have an impact on others to look something else and something further.
Well, I mean, obviously, we hope and pray that the Iraqi people help determine their future in a positive way. Now, you were in Budapest, weren't you, in Hungary, for the International Eucharistic Congress a couple of months ago. And a few of our bishops were out there. And not only them, but many of the reports I read, a lot of your brother bishops were very moved by what you had to say about the situation in Iraq, sort of historically, and bringing it up to date. But you did say that obviously there needs to be a strong secular civil state and real democracy in order for there to be change. And we have had the elections that were delayed from June in October in Iraq. Low voter turnout, quite a lot of dissatisfaction. The Sadrist movement won 73 seats, I believe. But we're still such a long way from political stability and that sort of future of hope. And we have the spectre of violence, of course. You've called for justice and peace and not the use of weapons. How key a message is that? What would you say to the politicians on the one hand and to Iraq's people on the other?
Well, there is a change, a big change by the elections. Among 339 deputies, only 100 are from the old parliament, 100 people. So 239 deputies are new people. And many of them are, independents, and they don't belong to some parties. The big problem is how to convince the classic political class, to accept the result of election, and they lost. This is natural. We win and we lose, and they have to prepare maybe next elections if they want to be part of that. But the mentality, of this political class is very old. They are old people. They are like fighters, jihadists, and they belong to another agenda, And what we need, maybe new people, new faces, young people who are much more aware of the future of Iraq, and also of the Iraqi people. I think something is moving inside, and the future is not something done magically. They have to work with it with patience, and we need time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think patience is the key word. Very, very well put there. Now, obviously, you've said that the church seems to have a voice. People in the church have more of a voice. What do you see as the church's role in making this better future?
To help people, to be open minded. And maybe this is our mission as Christians. By nature, or by our faith, our education, we are open minded. Everyone is my brother. And when I meet someone, I do not know him. I don't think he is my enemy. I have to fight him. No, he's my brother, and I have to welcome him. And also, to form people about political life, how to be responsible, very integral and very honest, not to rap. Many times I wrote some few very short articles about don't kill. This is the commandment of God in the Bible, but also in the Quran. Don't rob. You have no right to steal, the common good of the others. This is for all. It is not for me. Uh, how to respect the others, and how to live together and to work together, and to separate religion from this is the social life. I am Christian, he is Muslim, and I don't believe, but I am a good citizen. I have to be a good citizen and to work for the benefit of all and of my country. And this is, I think, the mission of the church, to educate not only Christians but also the others. And we need some instruments. For instance, social media. We are working in that. We have groups of lay people and also young priests, to work that. But we don't have, for instance, a television or a radio. We have magazines, but maybe we need more, because the media today are very influential.
Well, finally, Cardinal Sako, if we consider that, Christmas is a time where we do come together, we are an interconnected church, as you always say. Sometimes in the United Kingdom, we can sort of, I don't know, keep our gaze quite focused and a little bit narrow. How should we look to the east? How should we look to Iraq? How should we focus our prayers on Iraq this Christmas time?
I think we are one church. In Iraq, we are praying also with you in the United Kingdom. When we are celebrating Christmas, we are united with you, and you with us. I think the prayer and the liturgy is behind the geography, and also to think, to have a care of persecuted Christians, like in Iraq now, in Lebanon, in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Libya, Yemen. And we cannot, as Christians, we cannot be indifferent and stay, uh, it doesn't care, this is not me and the others. They are our brothers also. So I think we as also to help Christians to continue to stay at home and keep hoping and busy. And this is also the responsibility of all Christians. I remember one time I was Archbishop of Kirkuk. There was an earthquake in Cuba, and I told people, so we have to help them. People helped us during the embargo, 12 years of embargo. They helped a lot. So now it is our duty to think about on them and to help them. And at that time, I think we raised $3,000, and I sent them to Cuba. Just yeah, and just to help people to think about that. They are living in Iraq, but they are Christians and they're human. They belong to the humanity and the universal church.
Very well put. And to we're always thinking, how can we help Iraq? But in Iraq, you're thinking, how can we help our brothers and sisters, our Christian family around the world? That's marvelous. Really good to hear. Well, look, it's very kind of you to give us your time. It was wonderful to speak to you earlier in the year, and a great joy for us to watch a really historic papal visit. And I feel slightly optimistic for Iraq. I know we need to be patient, as you say, and I know there are going to be bumps in the road and difficulties. But are we right to be cautiously optimistic for the future of Iraq, brothers and sisters, side by side?
Oh, yes. No, no, there will be a future. And Iraq is, the cradle of the civilizations, but also today is very important for our neighbors and the whole world. We, we have oil, we have other mines, and we have also, the many touristic sites, and I think, and Iraqi by nature are open-minded. This new culture is came after the collapse of the old regime from other countries, but Iraqis are not fanatic. Maybe if you meet someone there in your homeland, you will see he's a normal human being and open-minded and clever sometimes. And I think personally the future will be much better, and we cannot continue in this very critical situation. And we do believe that the future will be for all Iraqis much better than now. And Iraq will be a democratic country and with a very high sovereignty, and also can be a part of the International Assembly.
Well, that is our prayer too. Your Beatitude, Cardinal Louis Sako, Archbishop of Baghdad and Patriarch of Babylon of the Chaldeans, thank you so much for your time, and God bless.